Hi, I'm Janelle from Project School Wellness, and this is a video on conflict resolution. So, conflict resolution is part of the interpersonal communication skill, which is one of the health skills outlined in the National Health Education Standards. So, let's take a look at what it means to resolve conflict, why it matters, and how to do it. So, what does it mean to resolve conflict? This is the process of resolving a dispute or disagreement. Why does it matter? Well, being able to resolve social conflict is a critical life skill. Not only does it play an important role in building healthy relationships, but it also will help you succeed in areas like school, work, after school clubs, and team sports, and really any part of life where it requires that you interact with another person because conflict is inevitable. So, how do we do it? How do we resolve conflict? So here's a step-by-step guide for resolving conflict. Step 1 is to calm down. So this is really important that even though we know that we need to resolve conflict and we want to resolve it, sometimes we need to just take a step back to calm down so that we can have a rational conversation where we can actually think critically and process what's happening in a impactful way. So step 1, calm down. That could be, go take a little nap, go on a walk, go cool down, listen to some music, whatever it is you need to calm down, and then come back and resolve the conflict. Step 2 is to express yourself and then take time to listen to the other person. So you can share how you feel and what your perception are of the situation, but then also take time to really listen to what the other person's saying and hear what they're saying they went through and what they experienced. Step 3 is to define the problem or the conflict together. So it's really important that this is something that's done together so there's not blame happening on either side and that you're both taking time to acknowledge what is actually going on here. And most likely it's probably something a little bit different than you initially thought. But that can only be defined if you're willing to have this conversation together and to define the problem together. Step 4 is to take responsibility. So you have calmed down, you've taken time to express yourself, you've taken time to listen with an honest or with an open heart and mind about what the other person experienced, and now you've defined the problem together. Now it's time that you take responsibility for the role that you played in the conflict. And you always play a role, right? Both sides always play a role in the conflict, and it's not ever just one person. And so it's important that you be vulnerable and you take responsibility for the role that you played in the conflict. And then step 5, identify and choose a solution together. So just like you define the problem together, you want to choose a solution together. And it's really important that it comes from both of you and that you're working together so that it's something that actually meets the needs of both of you and that it's going to be a realistic and sustainable solution. And then step 6, restore the relationship. If there's something that you need to apologize for and you genuinely feel sorry for it and you recognize that the relationship was broken by this act of conflict and you would like to restore it, then take time to apologize and take time to restore the relationship. So just in connection to any communication skill, in this one specifically, we're talking about conflict resolution, there are communication tips that you can practice. And these are relevant no matter if you're practicing refusal skills or if you're practicing, conflict resolution or you're practicing, expressing your boundaries. These are tips that you can always practice to help improve the conversation and to be a better and more effective communicator. So be open to hearing the other person's point of view, use I statements and don't pass judgment, be an active listener, choose to stay engaged in the conversation, openly and honestly share your feelings and opinions. So don't close yourself down, be brave and be open, and then always, always, always be kind and respectful. So that is it on how you can resolve conflict. And resolving conflict is not easy, and it really takes an intentional choice to choose to be a thoughtful and effective communicator. And I really hope that those steps help you resolve conflict in your life. And if you'd like to learn more about conflict resolution and interpersonal communication, please check out projectschoolwellness.com.